like to call this meeting of the Lammersville Unified Board of Education to order at 7 o'clock. Just a reminder, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed, so I would ask that you please either silence or turn off your cell phones at this time. And the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Lammersville Elementary School.
Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Good evening, President Boulay, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Nicholas. Thank you for having Lammersville Elementary present to you. My name is Cannon, and I am an ASB.
Welcome.
Thank you. Can you go to the next slide? Oh, sorry. This is our movie night slide, which includes all of the movies we have watched, like Goofy Movie, Nightmare Before Christmas, and the Garfield movie. These events really bring together our school because we all cram into our cafeteria, watch a movie, and while eating snacks, and ASB provides all the snacks and drinks, including popcorn, nachos, and potatoes. ASB makes a good amount of money through this because we have so much to offer. And this event helps ASB learn how to run events and show how we are leaders to our school.
My name is Maya. We went onto a Six Flags field trip for ASB at the beginning of the year. This trip was focused on leadership qualities with a great speaker who reminded us to be an upstander for our community. We also got to have a lot of fun going on rides and hanging out with friends. We also went to watch a dolphin show and rode rides until the time was up to go home. It was a pretty great day.
My name is Colby. These are our dress-up days. We've had a lot of fun dress-up day weeks so far this year. These pictures include some of them like Minion Day, Twin and Triplet Day, wearing pink, red, or white for Kindness Week, and even dress up like your teacher. The dress-up days help people participate in events, and ASB has fun hosting these days.
My name is Dina, and this is the homecoming parade was done all throughout Mountain House. Our theme was based off of Six Flag rides, and we chose the Batman ride. As you could see in the pictures, we all decided to dress up like Batman, and we handmade tutus. For the float, we made a Batmobile out of cardboard and brought blocks that looked like city lights for Gotham City. We worked really hard planning, drawing, sketching, and painting the Batman symbols for the Batmobiles, and it turned out really nice.
We do this thing at our school called Kinder Buddies. It's where our 8th graders pair with a kindergartner, either a group, pairs, or solo. We hang out with them every Friday, and we usually help them with reading, learning, playing, and building memories. This is our favorite time of the year because so many of us remember our buddies from when we were in kindergarten, too. We love this tradition at our school.
Hello, my name is Aiden. We have a lot of other amazing activities and stuff coming up in the next few weeks. We're currently doing the Read Across America week dress-up days and stuff. And then we have Spring Activity Day, which is next Friday. And it's where, like, ASB, we run a bunch of stations. And people, like, they play games. And then we're also going to have, like, we sell snacks. including snow cones. We are working hard on a yearbook and can't wait for everyone to see it. And you are all invited to attend any of our amazing events, and we would love to see you there. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you. I would just like to say all my 5 kids went to Lammersville Elementary, and all of them still remember who their 8th grade buddy was when they were in kindergarten and who their kindergarten buddy was when they were in 8th grade. And it's, I think that's really a neat tradition that happens at Lammersville Elementary. Any questions or comments by the board?
I just want to say that it was a great presentation, and I was there at your school for the Read Across America to your 2nd grader class, and it's always a nice, great time when I was at your school. Thank you for sharing other events. Great job.
I also wanted to quickly add, I think you guys are all very well spoken. I think you guys have a really cool presentation, and I love how involved you guys are with your student body. I think the teacher dress up day is one that I would like to see at our high school, so I'm taking notes on that one. I think that's a really cool idea. Also, good luck with your spring activity. Sounds like you guys are really well prepared, and yeah, great presentation.
Yeah, great job, and I'll see you all tomorrow for Read Across America.
Thank you all. Thank you, Principal Beck. At this time, if the Lammersville students and faculty would like to stay and enjoy our riveting meeting, you're more than welcome to do so. If you'd like to leave at this time, you can also do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Lisa Boulay.
Here.
Vanita Daniel.
Here.
Samik Modi.
Here.
Stephanie Olson.
Here.
David Pombo.
Here.
Donovan Rudish.
Here.
Item 4, TED Ed program.
I would like to have Assistant Superintendent Sharp introduce our guests.
Good evening, President Pombo, trustees, Dr. Nicholas. Thank you for having me. This evening, we have some important guests that will be speaking to you, and I'm going to have curriculum coordinators Christy Hambleton and Denise Hinton introduce those speakers.
Good evening. We have the pleasure of introducing our amazing GATE students who will be speaking to you about our upcoming GATE Showcase and TED Ed event. Thank you.
Good evening, esteemed members of the board. My name is Shamik Raj, and I am honored to be the lead host for the 2026 TED Ed program. With me, I have 2 of my fellow hosts and our high school coach, who will now introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Soham Shringeri and I'm a 7th grader at Cordes.
Hello, my name is Tejas Jarapur and I'm an 8th grader at Altamont.
Hello, my name is Akshita Jagan and I'm one of the high school coaches for this event.
Now, we know your Wednesday nights are usually filled with complex district business and meetings, but we're here tonight to offer you a glimpse into the direct results of your leadership. We are here to invite you to the GATE TED Ed Student Talks event.
We start this event with our GATE Showcase at 5:15 p.m. in the Mountain House High School and PR. Our gifted and talent education GATE students in grades 5 through 8 will present their projects, each developed through extensive research. Each student's creation will affect topics of their interest, driving student-driven learning in GATE. Following the GATE Showcase, students like us will take stage for the TED Ed Student Talks program at 6:15 p.m. at the Mountain House High School Theater.
This event is more than just a presentation. It's an opportunity to develop a visionary mindset and focus on empowering students to build confidence and inspire change. This event also fosters community engagement, bringing together students, families, and educators to celebrate student achievement and perseverance.
In a few weeks, when we step onto the stage for our TED Ed Showcase, we won't just be a couple of kids with microphones. We'll be showcasing months of growth, collaboration, and courage. Through the GATE and TED Ed programs, we've developed our public speaking, confidence, and vocal skills, all while learning the importance of connecting with our audience. We're excited to share our ideas and creativity at the event.
We would be honored to have you join us at the GATE TED Ed Student Showcase and see the impact of your support in our students' voices. We promise it'll be a great time, and plus, you might find yourself laughing at some unexpected talents on display. We definitely hope you guys join us. Thank you for your time. Now, we do have some paper invitations for you guys. I'll be passing that out.
Thank you. I would just like to say that I have been to numerous
Thank you.
TED Ed presentations, maybe all of them. I'm not sure if I've ever missed one. But they're always very entertaining and very enjoyable. And the presenters never cease to impress me at the event, and I certainly plan on being there again this year. Further comments or questions by the board?
I just agree with everything you said. I mean, we're all nodding our heads. I think it's definitely a highlight for everyone up here. And the hosts, that's such a big role. So you keep the audience really engaged and connected and keep the flow. So I enjoy the hosts just as much as the speeches. So I look forward to seeing you all.
And I have to say, I've attended a number of them as well. And one of the things that I always take back is the creativity of the topics you guys talk about. And I do remember last year there was one topic that was just so creative. It actually made its way back to a board meeting. So I'm looking forward to the event. Thank you for being here tonight.
I would like to echo all my fellow trustees. What they mentioned, I've been at most of them. I think I missed only last year's, but I do remember that one of the event was on my birthday and I was actually there. So that was a great birthday treat for me. So I look forward to March 26th and all the very best to you with that event.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you. Offer the TED Ed students the same thing that I offered the Lammersville students. If you'd like to stay and enjoy our board meeting, you're certainly welcome. If not, you can excuse yourselves at this time. Thank you very much. Approval and/or corrections to the agenda.
There are none.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
On a motion by Trustee Olson and seconded by Trustee Boulay, student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes. Committee reports. District Advisory Committee, Trustee Modi.
Nothing to report. The next meeting of the District Advisory Committee is May 20th, 2026.
Thank you. The District English Language Advisory Committee, DLAC meeting, Trustee Olson.
Yes, there will be a joint District English Learner Advisory and Education Committee meeting next Thursday, March 12th at 6:30 p.m. in the Professional Development Center.
Thank you. And the Education Committee has the same report that Trustee Olson just gave. D, Facilities Committee, Trustee Olson.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. E, Policy Committee, Trustee Daniel.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. F, Safety Committee, and I have nothing to report. G, Wellness Committee, Trustee Boulay.
Thank you. The next Wellness Committee will be meeting on April 22nd at 3:45 in the Professional Development Center.
Thank you. Moving on to item 7, Governing Board Reports. Student Trustee Rudish.
Good evening, President Pombo, Lammersville trustees, and Dr. Nicholas. Our high school leadership, starting with leadership, our high school leadership has been prepping for the night rally on, the Blacklight Rally on March 25th. This is a special rally where we turn all the lights off, bring out the black lights, and make our gym glow. It's a really fun event. I'll be sure to show more of it in the time that comes up. We're also excited to prepare for our next ASB elections, which take place throughout this week and throughout the month. So really exciting stuff for our new officers and for leadership as a whole. Our sports teams have also been quite busy. I'm sure Coach Walker could probably attest to that too. But today we have a baseball game at Oakland and a swim game versus Lincoln. Tomorrow we have quite a bit. We have a baseball game versus Liberty, track meet at Sierra, boys tennis game at Escalon, Frosh baseball at Central Catholic, and a stunt meet versus Central Valley. So that's 5 different games all on the same day. So good luck to our Mustangs. The main stars of tonight's update, though, are our amazing middle schools. I recently got the chance to meet with several different leadership teams, both in person and online, and get the opportunity to talk about some of the amazing stuff that they've been up to. So starting with Hanson, I had the privilege of having a virtual meeting with their leadership staff, and I'd originally intended the meeting just to be with an ASB officer or two. So you can imagine my surprise when 10 students, including Mr. N, showed up. So that was a really nice surprise. Got to talk with a lot more than what I anticipated and kind of get a more holistic view of what the school's been up to. So I thought I should share what they talked about. So recently, their school's been up to some really, really creative ideas. This includes their recent family game night featuring a self-made escape room, which focused on who poisoned Cupid. We're still waiting for that answer, but it was a combination of riddles, games, and fun, which I took note of at their meeting and honestly would hope to share with our leadership class. I think that's a cool activity that we could definitely try to implement in the following year. They also recently held their movie night featuring Zootopia and a kindness week that promoted random acts of kindness and had their leadership team making small activities each day for the students. One example was a positive notes poster that they did, but each day had a different theme to help encourage the general idea of the week. Coming up, or I suppose most recently, Hanson has been putting together their latest activity, Penny Wars. This is a period of competition between the grade levels where each tries to donate coins and become the leading class. They're doing spirit war competitions, minute-to-win-it games, and an all-around really brilliant incentive to donate, which I think many high schoolers would actually appreciate, which is being able to pie their teachers. So to any Hanson families watching, make sure to donate and keep the support going for your students. Small secret too, cash actually takes away from other classes, so that's a cool piece to add in that kind of adds to the event, but also do with that what you will. And then some additional events just to share. Hanson's also involved in their monthly rallies during lunch. They did musical chairs, cup toss, and a ball race recently. They're doing decorations for their middle school spring dance, which is themed Life in Paris, March 13th. Like most schools, they're also doing the Read Across America. They have a book-themed Spirit Week. They're also going to be selling donuts and coffee from the 12th to 26th. So if you're hungry, feel free to stop by, I believe, after school. They're also doing a really cool activity called the Digital Detox Day, which is essentially where they're having no Chromebooks after CASP testing. So just kind of like a refresher from spending so much time indoors on their computers, and just a cool way to kind of relieve the day. They're also in charge of something called Memory Week, which is partnering with their yearbook team to display pictures throughout the year. They're going to be doing water balloon fight, different battle of events, kind of just competitions, and like an Olympic style game. They have a joke of the day suggestion box, which I think is really cool, which they'll be putting in their announcements. So really cool to see student input into the announcements, which is something that we hear every day. They're also doing something called event coordinators, where they ask students that aren't part of the leadership team to help host and plan the events that they're working on. So like the Donuts and Coffee, the Memory Weekend, the Digital Detox Day. A lot of these events, which are put on by the leadership, are actually put together with students that are just part of the school campus. So I thought that was a really cool piece to share. They have their trimester awards assembly, so they're doing games, award giveaways, chants. The Student of the Month Cotton Candy Awards, so students who receive Student of the Month will get to leave class a little bit early to get cotton candy, so that's really cool. And they're doing a cross-grade mentorship, so ASB members will come in and perform presentations and activities for some of the younger grades. It helps give some perspective and create collaboration between the upper grades and the lower grades. And they also will, I forgot to mention, potentially be adding a new flag football team for the next year, so lots of really cool stuff. For the future, they're working on their spring dance. Once again, it's Night in Italy, yeah. And they'll be selling 2 different types of tickets, one with themed food for $25, and the regular ticket, $20. They'll be working with their teacher association, and it's geared towards, funding is, profit is geared towards castle travel, so some really cool incentives there to help increase leadership awareness. Overall, the students are excited about the dances, really excited about one of their March Madness events coming up, and they're a little bit worried about the finals on the horizon. So just kind of general student happenings. And just a huge shout out to their ASB class for joining that meeting. It was really cool getting to talk with all of them. They also wanted to give a shout out to their National Junior Honors Society, a STEAM Fair candidate, Kyle Arrington, going to county. And a really cool feature, their medical team is recently involved in solving a murder mystery about a recent actual murder. And for their case, they had a real detective come into the classroom to help guide them through that. So I thought that was a really cool piece to share. Overall, an incredible meeting, and a huge shout out to the Hanson's leadership team and Mr. N. A couple other schools, I was also lucky enough to be invited to Wickland's leadership class with Miss Vollmer after school, where I got the chance to talk face-to-face with much of their leadership team. Their activities range from a wide variety of fun but really unique events. So some of the recent events that they put on, they had their winter dance, which included popcorn, photo booths, and a DJ. Their splashathon, which included Menchie's, a DJ, a fire truck, slides, inflatables, and specific activities that grades themselves hosted. So, for example, fourth graders at the event cooked burgers. So I thought that was just really cool. They sold Wickland merch, did root beer floats. They also they recently did their Valentine's Day dance themed differently for each of the different sections of their grades. So they had a TK through second grade dance, third to fifth grade, and they also sold Valentine's grams, and they had a dress up week throughout that whole week as well. Their leadership is actively working towards the Read Across America dress up days, just the general school dress up days, CASP celebration parties. They are going to be doing a form festival and having each of the bands that compete involved in a fun activity with slides and games and celebration, just a general get-together for all of these groups. They're doing an Alice in Wonderland play. The 8th grade dance is coming up, and then also a 4th grade play called the Gold Duster Bust. So overall sentiment, students are excited for a lot of events coming up, a little bit worried about CASP, but overall, I'm happy with the happenings of the year. Some final shout outs for Wickland. One of their student athletes, Jazzy, scored one of the most points in their recent basketball game, and they scored second place in their cross country championships. One of their Wickland Wildcats as well, Max Conga, placed first in their cross country championship. So very competitive school, really high performance. So just again, a huge shout out to Ms. Vollmer and their team for letting me stop by. And additionally, very strong report for the campus. So glad to see that the Wickland Wildcats are doing well. One final report, Costa is also involved in their Read Across America week, so guest readers will visit their classrooms for read-alouds. And a final really, really cool piece to share is they're doing a masked reader assembly. So if you're familiar with like the Masked Singer, they're going to be doing that where they select staff members who will be wearing inflatable suits and reading to the students, and then they have to guess who those teachers are. So I wish I was there to see that, but overall, really cool stuff happening at Costa too. And finally, I got the opportunity to attend the first AI Equity Group meeting with Director Manley to go over some student and parent input for the district's AI policies going forward with schools. It was very informative, meeting with a broad mix of different people, and I really appreciated the opportunity to share my thoughts. Thank you again for the opportunity to Director Manley, and I'm looking forward to our upcoming meeting to discuss further discussion. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Modi.
I don't know why I need a follow trustee Donovan. What I do want to know, I'll have to find out the date of the inflatable mass reader program at Costa. That sounds really cool. Thank you. Over the last couple weeks since our last board meeting, I completed the second part of the first Masters in Governance course. And then, I don't know what number, and then also did the course for HR. So I have 3 down, 2 to go. So looking forward to that coming to a close at the end. I think it's the last one. I think is in the summer. And that's my report.
I have a question for you, Trustee Modi.
Yes.
How do you feel like you're getting benefit from the MIG courses?
I think the short answer is yes. Right. The reason I hesitate is I think there's a difference in the benefit from the content versus the discussions from other board members. Right. And so could you have some of that value? Because, one of the survey questions that comes out at the end is what's your preferred method of taking this course? And one of the choices on there, which I haven't seen them offer it, is self-paced learning, right? So if it was a learning module that you just did yourself, you could probably get the content out of it. I don't know. I want to make sure I want to be careful with how I say it. I think when you're part of a board that is part of a large organization, a lot of the skills and probably thought process that comes with it or that's beneficial is gained through experience in working in other large organizations. So I could imagine somebody who has not potentially worked, who was a stay-at-home parent, let's say, for example, but wanted to get involved because their kids were in the district, not having experience with HR issues or not having experience with finance issues and things like that, or building consensus with others, or working or leading teams. So I'm not trying to say that I've got all this experience, so I don't need any of this content. So please don't take it that way. But I think there's definitely probably a scope of where that content is more beneficial for some potential board members than others. That the real value, I think, is sometimes participating in the kind of breakout discussions, but also hearing, I forgot what district, or I won't say the district, but they were talking about negotiations, right? So then the HR course, they talked a lot about the negotiations with either the staff union or the teachers union. And one of the districts said that they had 2 board members participate in the negotiations at the table. And the level of denouncement, I guess, from the instructors as well as other board members was swift and high. And so it left no question for, is that good practice or not, right? And so there are sometimes issues like that come up that kind of reaffirm my own, right? So sometimes I'll be like, oh, what should you have, maybe, I don't know. But that helps reaffirm some of our practices that, hey, we are doing things according to best practice. But there were other things that came up. One of them that, I'd share now is, some districts have I think they actually mentioned it from the CSBA standpoint, is the superintendent provides a mid-year report to the board. So I know we do an annual review of the superintendent, but then the superintendent would provide a mid-year report to the board to say, I'm not trying to assign more homework to the superintendent. I know his plate is full, but do we do that?
We do that already, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so then I'm ill-informed. So that's homework for me. But so there might be other things like that come up that are, at least learnings for especially new folks. It was also interesting to see sometimes that there's people who have been on it for like 8 years and never took it. And so you definitely get a wide variety across that spectrum too. So hopefully that shed some light, but.
Yes, I appreciate that. It's been many years since I took the MIG courses, but I agree with your assessment. But I think really all of our participation in CSBA has a lot of benefit by exposing us to other districts and other ideas and other board members.
Sure.
So thank you.
Yep.
Trustee Daniel.
Thank you, Preston. First, I would like to appreciate our student trustee, Donovan, for his share. And also the part where you always mention that you take away a few things back to your ASB, back to your school, and when you're able to identify that there's something to add value to. So I really appreciate that part, and great job. And all the best to that. I also would like to mention, Preston, that I really liked your question that was directed to Trustee Modi. I just want to share my thought about it because I recently graduated like a year back. It's not more about the content or the discussion. I enjoyed the breakout rooms and the discussion because that's where there was more value added. But I preferred the in-person sessions more than the virtual because we all, work virtually. Sometimes we are not able to connect with the person, or some other tab is open, we get distracted. So I really enjoyed the in-person, and if they could bring back everything as an in-person session, that would be greatly beneficial. So I just wanted to share my thoughts.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now I'm going to get to my report. On March 3rd, that's yesterday, I went to Lammersville and I had my read across time at Lammersville. second grade, Miss Cafferty's class, and I had a great time reading. I was there last year too. I read the book Cookies, and I actually went back to the class with a box of cookies because the class actually was, I had a great time, with the students. So this time I read Zoo, and I'm just wondering what animals I'm going to be taking. I'm just kidding. But I just had a great time. It was a very interactive book reading session, and the kids they had a lot of questions, including they asked me, they saw my name and they were like, "Oh, that's my dad's name." And I got to say, "Yeah, that's my dad's name too." So it was very interactive. They talked about zoo, we talked about circus and everything. So I thoroughly had a wonderful time there, and this is my second year back. I'm looking forward to more years at that class. So that was on March 3rd, and then on March 4th, today, we visited the DCA, the Discovery Challenge Academy, along with 4 of my fellow trustees. The tour was great for me to understand what DCA does. I had been there a few months back for the graduation, and it was just, there was so much information shared there. But then now with just touring the DCA, I was able to understand how they help the students who have become part of their cohort, and they have 2 cohorts and so on. So we also got to hear a cadet share his experience, how challenging it was at first. But he's in his 8th week now and is working towards his graduation by the end of the 22nd week. So my takeaway from DCA was it's a great place for students who need the discipline and the extra push towards their schedule and to get back on track. And also, it's a place where they feel safe while they are working on their academics and pushing themselves. There are so many other great things that we got to see during the tour, and I'm sure my fellow trustees are going to be sharing that. So I'm going to stop with this. I also would like to thank Trustee Boulay for helping organize this. And it was also a good bonding time for us as trustees. We shared good laughter as we traveled back and forth. I personally feel that the time we spend together like this not only connects us better, but it's also very important for the health of the district, so that we can focus on doing great things for our students and our district. Lastly, I would like to wish all the students, the middle schoolers, and the elementary kids who have started their trimester 3, and I know that student trustee Donovan was mentioning about the CASP. So there's going to be CASP test, MAP test, and all those. So I would like to wish everyone a very successful trimester 3. And there ends my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Boulay.
Thank you. So as Trustee Daniel said, I also attended the tour today at Discovery Challenge Academy, and I think that this is a great program that the San Joaquin County Office of Education sponsors, and we do have some of our high school kids that have attended in the past, and I think it's a great program, again, for the structure and the discipline, so that students can focus on not just their academic skills, but life skills, career skills. And there's very, very few distractions there. They have a very structured schedule. And one of the things that I was most impressed with is that the kids that go to this program, they volunteer to go to this program. And part of the program is to leave your cell phones at home for 22 weeks. So night and day, no cell phones. And so when I say there's few distractions, I know in all of our lives, our cell phones and social media can be a huge distraction. So I'm just really impressed with these kids. They're engaged with all their studies, and they're reading books. They go to the library a couple times a week. They take out books, and they are reading more books now than they have in their lives. So again, I think not just this program, but a lot of the programs that San Joaquin County Office of Education has, they're great programs. So I was really really enjoyed the tour today, and I thank the County Office of Education for assisting with that tour. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Olson.
Thank you, President Pombo. On February 21st, I attended the San Joaquin County Mock Trial finals and awards ceremony. And going back about 10 years, if you look at the data, the mock trial top four finals have been the same schools: SECA Academy, Mountain House, Venture, and Tracy. This year, unfortunately, Mountain House did not make the top four, but at the awards ceremony, and I want to point this out, a lot of teams that don't make the top four don't even show up to the awards ceremony. At the awards ceremony, our Mountain House kids were there, and they were clapping just as hard for the winners, and they hold their heads up high, and I was more proud of them than if they had won the competition, truly, because like they're becoming wonderful human beings, and so I just commend the teacher in the program, and they'll be back next year, no doubt. I also picked up the programs, and I got one for each of the board members, because if you have a courtroom artist, there's a competition, and the winner's courtroom art will be on the following year's program. And last year's winner was Kylo Tungle from Mountain House High School. So his artwork is on the cover of this program. And I've already given one to Trustee Daniel and Boulay on our ride up to the Discover Challenge Academy. But I have one for Mr. Trustee Modi, President Pombo, and Dr. Nicholas. Just I thought that would be a fun little souvenir. But nice. It was a wonderful event. And speaking of the county, they just do so many wonderful things like the Discover Challenge Academy we attended today. And I won't add too much to it, but just to value add something that Trustee Daniel said and something that Trustee Boulay said. The two things that really hit me the most were the word safe that the student used, and that they're just seeking safety. And the principal of the school even mentioned that some of those kids, when it's family release day, they just want to stay there because it's an environment. And, so I'm so grateful that the state funds something like this so that our, students across the whole state of California who need this program can go somewhere and feel safe and learn how to regulate themselves. And then the other thing was books. I thought that was so fascinating that the student talked about how he'd read 4 books since he'd been there, and I don't think he'd really read any before, and how he was so into the books and he read Divergent and didn't even know it was a movie, but loved the book. And so I really like that they're coming into connection with reading and what that does for their brain and the connections they make. And so I was really grateful that the county gave us an opportunity to tour that facility, and I'm so grateful that we have that for students. And then the only other thing that I have to report on is that I attended the CSD meeting on February 24th, gave the report as board clerk, and they seem to be very interested in enrollment numbers and how many students are going from 8th grade to the high school and how many students are graduating. And I think I did tell them to have Pinkerton reach out to Dr. Nicholas, but those are numbers that you may be being asked to get as a district staff. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. On February 25th, I attended the CSBA delegate Zoom meeting where the major topic of discussion was upcoming bills to force the state to help districts close the achievement gap. And that what these bills are intended to do is not intended for the state to pile more mandates on us that are typically unfunded. What these bills want to achieve is a cohesive, comprehensive plan from the state that helps us as districts close the achievement gap, not them dictating to us how we do that. And our board passed a resolution last meeting, maybe meeting before last, encouraging the state to pass those bills. On March 3rd, as some of my fellow board members have mentioned, participated in the Read Across America. I read to the 6th grade class at Lammersville Elementary, and I was really, really impressed at how quietly and attentively they listened to my reading, and it made me think of, are you smarter than a 6th grader? But that's another story. And then after that, I had a chance to go to Bethany, where I read to Mrs. Wichman's kindergarten class, and the artists in that class presented me with this poster, which I shall treasure. Then today, along with several of my fellow board members, I attended a tour of the Discovery Challenge Academy, and I echo all of their comments. Very impressed with the academy, with the cadets, with how they do things, and with the opportunity that affords students who maybe haven't had a lot of opportunities in their life. Then this afternoon, I attended the San Joaquin County School Boards Association, which I serve as the current president. And we had speakers, Kevin Gordon from Capital Advisors, who spoke on the budget and different things that he foresees coming with the budget, both from the state and federal government. And Patrick O'Donnell, who's a CSBA legislative lead, and he again spoke to the legislation, but the legislation to close the achievement gap, along with other CSBA-sponsored legislation. I do not have any blue cards. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to make a public comment at this time? Seeing none, I shall dispense with reading of the verbiage here and move on to consent items for consideration. Governing Board meeting minutes, contracts under $50,000, ratification of certificated and classified personnel actions, updated 25-26 fundraisers, ratification of inter and intra-district transfer requests, ratification of 26-27 intra-district transfer requests, and ratification of school-sponsored overnight trips. Before I ask the board if there's anything they would like to pull or discuss further, there are a couple of typographical errors in the consent items that have been corrected, so the motion will be as corrected.
Move to improve.
What are those typos?
Are
you saying from the version that was posted before?
Yes. One is on the minutes. I'm not sure of the exact content of it, and the other one is fundraisers. Superintendent.
Yeah. So there was in the minutes there was a word that was repeated, and we corrected into the correct word that was in the video to correctly represent what the board member said. And then on the fundraisers, the number that they gave us for a field trip was off, and so they corrected the error. We just updated it to the correct number.
Got it. Thank you.
Move to approve the consent items as amended.
Second.
On a motion by Trustee Olson and seconded by Trustee Boulay, student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you do the honors?
President Pombo, I would love to do the honors, except I think for the first time that I can recall, there are no names to read.
Imagine that, and that's the first time I remembered to ask you to do it. Oh, well. Live and learn, or at least live. Moving on to item 10, District Administrative Reports. Dr. Nicholas.
Yes. So over the last 6 or 7 weeks, we conducted a comprehensive, thorough, and extensive search for a new head coach to run our football program. We had a number of candidates, a very thorough process. So we want to thank Principal Arbach. We'd like Deputy Superintendent Harrison, the panel members. We have made our selection, who is here tonight, and it's my honor to introduce Mountain House High School's head football coach, Lonnie Walker.
Good evening, y'all. Thank you, President Pombo, trustees, Dr. Nicholas, Mr. Donovan, for allowing me to come to speak tonight. It's a privilege and an honor to be the third head coach in Mountain House history, and that should be about 25 years, and I could leave. But just a little bit about myself. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. Went to Grambling State University, where I was recruited by Eddie Robinson and was coached by Doug Williams, Super Bowl MVP, where I started wanting to become a coach. My defensive coordinator was Todd Bowles, who is the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. And I can remember going to his office, just looking at film, asking questions. Being a defensive lineman, you don't understand coverages and stuff. So I got deep into it, being a student of the game. And that's where my passion for coaching came from. And now I'm the head football coach at Mountain House High School. And for me, the plan is, a lot of people want to change cultures. I want to establish tradition. This is a small-knit community. I want everyone to feel like they have a voice, a stake in the game. So along with that, me and with the AD, Mrs. Nunn, coming up with a parent advisory council. So we have transparency on what we're doing for our athletes, and so there'll be constant dialogue and communication from the football team to the community. One thing that I will do and must do is build a strong relationship with the Mountain House Stallions to let them know there's only one high school, the Mountain House. Please come, we're here. So with that being said, I'm trying to not rattle, but I am, like I say, very much privileged and honored for that head coach seat to be bestowed upon me, and I want it to be like, not cliches like Friday Night Lights. The only thing I want open on Friday is the Arco and Safeway. Everybody at the game. So, so like I say, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for bestowing this title upon me. And I will guarantee you, I will not let no one down. Thank you.
I would like to both welcome you and congratulate you on your new position. I played high school football more than a few years ago, and I still have very fond memories of high school football, and I believe that team sports, any sports, but especially team sports, are really instrumental in building good human beings and lifelong learners, and I hope you can bring the tradition you speak of to our high school. Thank you. Further comments or questions for the coach?
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Do you have any further?
I couldn't top that presentation, so I'm going to pass it on to you, Mr. President.
All right. Very well. Item 11, action items.
A point of order, we have item B.
Oh, all right. Item B, District Maintenance and Operations Report.
Somebody throw something at me or something. Anyways, good evening. Thanks for having me. no operations report tonight. Maintenance report, the pool's done pretty good. The only thing we're waiting on is that parts for the autofill valve, but everything else is good. Temperature, chemicals, everything is cool there. The weather started to warm up a little bit, so some of our heating calls are now slowly turning into cooling calls. We only have a handful of calls at the moment, but the weather I think is supposed to get warmer as the week goes on, so that might go up as the week goes on. Ground, spring sports are in full swing. Baseball, softball, track, swimming, tennis. K-8 soccer started yesterday. There were 3 games yesterday. There's 4 games tomorrow. Last Monday, I had my facilities meeting at the high school with the nuns. One of them's out there in the audience today. Next meeting is on Monday the 16th. You may recall that on the February 10th, Keenan was here in the district doing their annual property and liability inspections. We received the report about 2 weeks later on the 24th. I just wanted to read the summary section for the board. It says the school sites are very well maintained. While some issues were found and are detailed within this report, we are impressed with the district's commitment to providing a safe educational environment for students. So that was nice to hear. Updating our projects. I got word this week that there's a couple warranty issues with the D building at the high school. You may recall the issue we have with the science lab now. It looks like maybe a couple cooling issues there. I'll get on that tomorrow. Palmville Elementary, this weather's been nice, so construction is proceeding at a good pace. I was out there this afternoon. They had a crane on site. They were loading the HVAC units on the admin building and onto the C1, which is the classroom building immediately next to the office. So that's exciting to see. The concrete curves all been poured, so you can really see what the parking lot's going to be. Things are going really well out there. I encourage you to go out and check it out when you get a chance. The Montessori refurbishment, the flooring is on the board agenda for the next board meeting on the 18th for approval. If work is approved, we'll start the following week doing that work. We also decided that we needed to install a new sidewalk at the Montessori. There's really no good way for the students using those buildings to access the main campus now. They either have to go out the gate and walk along the bus route, which nobody wants, or there's a gate over by the playground. They have to walk on the decomposed granite track, which is okay in the spring, but in the wintertime it gets really muddy. So what we come up with was to run a new sidewalk adjacent to the existing metal fence on the inside, of course. It'll connect the Montessori building to the existing asphalt, and a nice path to travel when the kids are going for lunch or breakfast to the multi and back. So, and that is also on the board agenda for the 18th for approval. So if that gets approved, we will do that over spring break. The Costa field, the temporary fence was taken down. They actually had a home game yesterday at Costa. I was out there helping set up the goals. Field looked really good. I took a couple pictures. So the field turned out nice. With the weather being if it stays like this, pretty mild, Thor and I talked about moving up, doing the cricket field not in May, maybe doing it starting in spring break or first part of April to get more time for it to set before the kids come back in August. So I'm working with our landscape company on that. The new kindergarten equipment at Wickland, Principal Duran and I met last Wednesday. We formalized everything. Everything's good to go. I got her thumbs up. She went and checked with all her staff. Everyone gave a thumbs up. I've ordered it, and it'll be here in 30 days, they told me. So we will install it this summer. The raised sidewalk at Lammersville, that's still on pace to be completed over spring break. So that's good news. The school board at Lammersville arrived. It's sitting in the multi right now in a crate. I'm going to work with the principal Beck and see when's a good time to install it. I'm hoping we can maybe do it spring break when no one's around. I don't want any little people running around when we've got a lift in there and trying to do things on that wall. The field at Lammersville was still on track to start that in May and June. The field behind the portable is the one that didn't quite recover from the septic tank installation last summer. The kindergarten playground at Altamont, I talked about this last time I was up here. The tree roots from the park have infiltrated the kindergarten area, and there's little humps in the playground. We need to get that fixed this summer. So I walked the site with a vendor to the one that did the ones at Bethany with the turf over the pouring place to get a price from them. Hopefully we can get that done this summer. The intermediate playground, the primary playground, which is right next to the softball field, that also is in bad shape. That's really deteriorating. The material's starting to crumble, so I asked them to give me a price for that too. So if maybe we can get both of those done this summer. And that's all I have. We don't have any openings. Happy to answer any questions.
Make a comment.
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
The comment, I think, from the firm that came out, I think that's more directed to your team. So I wanted to commend the team for identifying issues, executing the work to make the facilities as good as they are and keep them in great condition. So kudos to you and the rest of the team.
Yeah, you got to help me out.
You got to compliment you and your team for making sure that things are safe and prioritizing the safety of our staff and our students.
Thank you. I'm not using it in compliments, so thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I just want to say that I didn't intentionally try to skip you. It was just.
That's okay. No problem.
It's because you got the name thing right, so you had to get something else wrong.
True. Now may I go to item 11?
I think we're lucky this is a shorter meeting.
Item 11, action items. Item A, consider approval of the 25-26 seniority list. Staff report?
Yes, we do this every year. This is an agreement of a list based in seniority in case there's a need for a reduction in force. A process that will not be happening, but we do this annually as part of our agreements.
Move to approve this in 25-26 seniority list. 1 LTA and 2 CSEA.
Second.
And I just want to say that every year when I look at the seniority list, there are fewer and fewer staff members who've been here longer than I have. On a motion by Trustee Boulay and seconded by Trustee Daniel, student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes. Item B, consider approval of LUSD TK8 High School Expanded Learning Opportunity Program, ELOP, and Extended School Year ESY Summer School 2026. Staff report?
Yes, I say this every year. This board and past boards has made a commitment to summer school that goes beyond traditional school districts, public school districts opportunities, in particular at the TK8 level, and in particular certain parts of the high school offerings and kids transitioning from 8th grade to high school. This action item is for all of our programs. We recommend it, but it also needs to be noted that there's an investment to help with summer learning loss and help other kids get ahead and a leg up for their entrance into high school that needs to be commended.
Questions or comments by the board?
I just echo what you said, Dr. Nicholas. And we have high achieving students, and not only do they have opportunities when they fail, but they have opportunities to like you said, go further, like with the summer bridge program for one. It's just wonderful the work that's being done. And with that, I'll move to approve of the LUSD TK through 8 High School Expanded Learning Opportunity Program and Extended School Year Summer School 2026.
Second.
On a motion by Trustee Olson and seconded by Trustee Boulay, student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes.
I do have a clarifying question, please. So the ELAW program, so the item that you've mentioned is the number of staff who will be working at the site. Is my understanding correct?
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead, keep going.
No. When it says 7 teachers, that means 7 in parentheses, that means it's 7 teachers who will be working at the site.
Might have to. Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking is just wanted to clarify if for ELOP we have 48 aides. That means we are going to distribute the 48 aides through the 3 schools.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. That's
Moving on to item C, consider approval to modify the 2025-2026 board meeting calendar. Staff report?
Yes, we have 3 board members who are going to be attending the Coast to Coast CSBA partnership with AXA in Washington, D.C., lobbying our U.S. officials for important educational matters, and unfortunately, it lands on a board meeting date. We are recommending the board's consideration of changing the date to either April 16th, which is the day after, or the week after, April 22nd.
I will be available on Wednesday because Thursdays I work. Wednesdays are the days that I will be able to attend the board meetings.
I am traveling the week after the scheduled board meeting. So that Wednesday, April 22nd, I will be flying back from Houston. So I could do the Thursday, the 16th. So
Does staff have a preference of like anything that is pressing or not?
No.
The coast to coast, the participants will arrive back on Wednesday, the 15th. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's my understanding.
Yes, we'll be back at like 9 p.m. I can do either.
These aren't the only dates. These were just dates when it made sense to do one day up and 1 week later. There's spring break the first week, so.
I don't really want to pick a date because I don't want to say I'm picking the date that Trustee Daniel can attend or Trustee Modi. I can do either, but that's as far as I'm going.
am I correct? In April, we only have one board meeting.
Correct.
Correct. So
Because of spring break.
I have no preference.
Nor do I. I can attend either one.
I don't know. Do we flip a coin? What do we do?
With 3 trustees being able to attend either one, we have a quorum. So the pressure to be able to do the board meeting is off. It really comes down to we could do another date or we can, flip a coin. I mean, Rochambeau.
Are there? I was sorry. Would the previous Wednesday be an option? The
8th?
8th, if that 7th, 8th.
Not the 6th, 7th. Sorry.
This meeting is just feels like it's April Fool's.
It's the board's. There would be no reason that I can think of to not do the 8th.
City Council.
I don't know. Is there?
That's also a Wednesday, right?
Yes, that is a Wednesday.
Oh, spring break the week before.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. Wait. What?
We do. There's a logistical part to that, but if that's how we can get 5 people here, we can do that, and we'll change the way we pull information together.
Okay. If the staff is comfortable.
Can everyone make the 8th?
Yes, I can.
Check my
That's
calendar.
the week after spring break, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we'll just collect. Basically, everybody will turn their stuff in a week earlier than they would for the 15th. So.
I'm fine with the 8th.
I'm
or
fine
the
with you.
16th or the 22nd.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with any of them as well.
So if everybody can make it to the 8th and it's not a
burden on staff.
undue burden on staff, then we can do the 8th.
Yeah, I think that's the consensus. If it's not a burden on staff, the 8th is
Yeah.
fine, but otherwise I say we flip a coin because I don't really know. Otherwise, we're going to just be going through multiple dates.
Yeah. Okay, so do we need to move for a motion for that?
Just consensus.
Or is this
would be fine,
consensus?
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
We need a motion.
I move to move the April board meeting to April 8th, 2026 at 7 p.m.
Second.
I'm guessing there's no further discussion. On a motion by Trustee Modi and seconded by Trustee Daniel, student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes. Item 12, calendar. Thursday, March 12th is the joint District English Language. Let me try that again. District English Learner Advisory Committee and Education Committee meeting at 6:30 p.m. at the Professional Development Center. Item B, Wednesday, March 18th, 2026 is the next regular governing board meeting at 7 o'clock here in the boardroom. Item C, Thursday, March 19th, District Parent Advisory Committee meeting at 6 p.m. at the Professional Development Center. Item D, Thursday, March 26th is the TED Ed event that I believe the entire board is looking forward to. In a moment, we will be adjourning to closed session where we will discuss public employee discipline dismissal release complaint, Government Code 54957. Item B, conference with real property negotiators, Government Code 54956.8. Do I have a motion?
Move to adjourn to closed session.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Boulay and seconded by trustee Olson, student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes or 6 ayes actually. And thank you everyone for coming. Have a safe trip.
Thank you. Good night.